Yo, yo, yo. What's up, chat? What's up, everybody? Good morning, man. Monday's over with. So the rest of the week's a breeze, right? It's all downhill, baby. It's all downhill. Good morning, guys. Hope everything's going well. Hope everybody's doing good. Day one of Stray, man. We're gonna hop into Stray today, play Stray. Finally, man. Finally gonna get to play Stray. I'm excited. I know it's not gonna be like a long playthrough or anything, but this is a game that I was watching this game for quite a long time through its development, and for some reason it had always piqued my interest. It's not even a game that's necessarily like something that normally would. And then whenever it released, I was just in the middle of a long playthrough. I didn't want to stop that playthrough to play something else. So, and then we found out what, everybody was having such a great time playing it. I was like, man, I've got to get into it at some point. No, you are! What's up, buddy? My dude, Wick, what's up, man? We'll get to hop into Stray today. Yeah. It should be a good time. I'm excited about it. But, you know what time it is, baby. We gotta do what we do first, which is hop into April 25th's edition of Video Gaming News. So, let's go ahead and hop over there. Let's find out what's going on in the world of video games before we jump into Stray today, alright? Let's get it. Crypt of the Necrodancer this morning, that's what we're listening to. Very cool rhythm-based adventure RPG type game. So also a very cool soundtrack. If you're interested, I highly recommend going and checking out Crypt of the Necrodancer. Cool. Let's kill the music. Let's get into the news. Everybody get your Java or your beverage of choice, whatever it is, and let's get going here. So good. So good. Wick, how you doing, buddy? What's up, man? You on your way to work, dude? All right, so basically it looks like from the Burning Shores DLC, which we touched on a little bit yesterday. In yesterday's news segment, we touched on because apparently they're getting review bombed due to the fact that the player can engage in a romantic relationship with another female character in the game. And it's getting review bombed, which is absolutely insane, in my opinion. I've touched on it yesterday in length. I've got a video on the YouTube page that is already up. It's clipped out of yesterday's news segment that goes into depth about my stance on that kind of thing, why I feel it's absurd that people have such an issue with those kinds of relationships. And if you're interested on my take, either look at yesterday's news segment or find the video gaming news clip regarding Horizon Forbidden West DLC being review bombed on our YouTube page. You'll get a good taste of my sentiments and why I feel it's absurd that this kind of thing happens all the time. People just need to be able to live their best life, man. Love who they want to love, and it's crazy that people take it as having an LGBTQ plus agenda or whatever pushed upon them if there's any kind of same-sex relationship in a game. But if there's any kind of just normal, stereotypical opposite-sex relationship, in a game, then, nobody's supposed to say anything about it because that's quote-unquote normal, It doesn't, that's hypocritical, dude, and a good taste of your what? So, that just doesn't make sense. And, but we'll dive into this today. It looks like from the Burning Shores DLC, we've got some new stuff coming out, which looks like they've basically set the table for Horizon 3. Yeah. So let's. Who do we want to pull up here? We'll go IGN. That's fine. We'll go IGN. That's cool. See what else we got. You're funny, bro. Oh, you know what I forgot to check? You know what? You know what's a big deal today? We got hockey. We got hockey today, dude. I know it's not video gaming news, but it's important to me, man. I got to see what time the game's tonight. I gotta get prepped for this. Hold on, real quick. I gotta know what time my team's playing. Okay. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. All right. Sorry. Moving on. We hit on this yesterday too, to an extent. I mean, let's pull it up again. Let's see what Jeff Grubb's talking about here. We hit a little bit on this yesterday. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a surprise. Maybe the shut up. You're such a. I'm about to ban you, Wick. Somebody time him out. Yo, Kayla, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Let's go Stars, dude. Just so everybody's aware, I'm getting trolled right now by my moderator. And my friend and my moderator here is trolling me out. And just angry because his team didn't even make the playoffs, you know. Just super angry, super tilted at the world, you know. But Devils won. Dude, I passed out early. Good. GG's, Kayla. Nice. I didn't even see scores. Yet. Nice. Awesome. Great. I'm happy for you. So, yeah, I don't think it's like lost on anybody that like Xbox as far as a console and having proprietary titles and you know, they did not do much of anything last year. And so, yeah, they're probably, you know, Microsoft probably isn't real thrilled with Xbox right now. So I would say in regards to that, Microsoft's probably looking for Xbox to step it up. Now, look, I'm going to say this right now. I think Redfall drops in a week, roughly. Happy, what's up, Team Wig? Oh, no, dude. Oh, everybody's going to be trolling me out, dude. Oh, no. now he's trolling out Cash, and Cash isn't even here. Oh, no. Dude, what's up, Happy? Happy Tuesday, dude. So, I don't know. I would say that it's not necessarily a surprise that Microsoft might be a little unhappy with the fact that Xbox hasn't done super well with that kind of thing. But it's not like Xbox is not doing well in some other areas, you know. So they have had some like Hi-Fi Rush, dude. We talked about this here recently, and you know there was Jeff Grubb actually was trying to say that the game didn't perform as well. Didn't sell as well or whatever as it should have or something like that. And it seemed like they were trying to quantify it as only, you know, looking at purchases of the game, but you can't really look at that game like that, right? I mean, Hi-Fi Rush right now, I think, is a lot of people's game of the year. And to try and break that game down like that doesn't make sense. It's I think, sold pretty well for a shadow drop and at a low price point. It's probably been decently profitable. It's been hugely great, I would assume, for their subscriptions on their Game Pass service, and as well as just for the reputation as a whole of Tango, who developed the game, Bethesda, who is their parent company who published it, and Microsoft, who owns those companies, right? It's not like they're totally losing, but it has been a subpar year. Last year was, so we'll see what it has to say. Always trolling. Happy post Monday, Shay. What's up, my friend? What's going on? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like, you made it. We're past Monday. You know what I mean? That's usually what people are looking for, right? Monday's that brutal trudge back into the world, for a lot of people anyways. Some people like Kayla here, our friend Kayla, she works a wonky schedule. So she gets like usually one day off on a weekend. She's got one day off during the week, and it's like, I'm sure like looking for the weekend is a thing, but then there's also like one day of the weekend that has to be worked also. So don't you nuh-uh. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Why are you hating, dude? Why are you hating? Such a hater, dude. You drinking that haterade, bro. Such a hater. Um, PS5 executive doesn't want to see gaming's future dominated by live service games. Boring. Interesting. Happy. Yeah. Where'd it go, dude? Where'd it go? Um, I think this is one of those things. It's kind of inevitable, to an extent. Live service games are only becoming more and more popular. It's more of a you know there are still a lot of good games that are being made and have been made as of recent that are not live service, and it'll continue to be that way. But I think that we're already to the point where the more popular trend is live service games that continue to give you an experience where developers have to be good at continually bringing you new content to those universes and those worlds. And it's not an easy thing for developers. It's not nearly as easy as it used to be, where they didn't have to focus on that kind of thing. It was, let's develop everything on the front end. And then maybe get some additional content on the back end, but it was just pushed out as like DLC or expansions, rather than a lot of live service games where it'll be content patches, right? But the live service game space is one of those really, really volatile areas for developers where if they're not continually, first of all, grabbing people's attention up front and bringing people into the game initially, but also bringing new content to the game to grab people's attention and keep them interested, you're going to end up losing. And it's a tough thing to do, I think. And it's a kind of a daunting, probably, especially for a lot of older, a lot of developers that are, have gotten used to the way things used to be, and trying to transition over into doing a lot of the live service stuff, which is what is the more popular thing nowadays, right? Automod is a bully, yeah. Yeah. I tried to get it as fast as possible. Well, Wick could have gotten it too. Wick's a mod, dude. So, trying to get Wick's back, and Wick could have handled it. And then now Wick's going to go, I was busy, all right? I was in my lifted Prius. Two of my 5 flags hanging out the back of my lifted Prius with the back chopped off got tangled up whenever I was driving over 3 cars, making my way to work. And I was distracted. I couldn't handle the auto mod for Happy. So, I got you, Happy. Don't worry about it, dude. Oh man. You knew it wouldn't get blocked, dude, because I just allowed that word. Shut up. You're such a troll. You're such a troll. But we'll take a look at this and see what the execs at PS are saying at PlayStation. Yeah, also mod, true. Yeah, so that's another play. I just allowed that word though. It was the same word, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. He knew. He knew. He knew. He's on one this morning, dude. Wick must be in a good mood. Usually when Wick's in a good mood, this is the play. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was the word, Kayla. Yeah, because that's what got held for moderation by Happy, and then I permitted the term by allowing it. So yeah, your gaslight is on. Now just stop the first two gas. You're gonna run out of gas, dude. I thought it was your car. I thought your lifted Prius was all electric, dude. Ran on biodiesel. If you didn't have the charge, you know. Run on that French fry oil, dude. Oh, dude, it did still. Wait, what? That's weird. It took it made as in front of it. That's weird. Why? God, moderation. Automod is so weird, dude. It's just Automod's trying to bully people this morning too. Because it had as in front of the word this time, it held it. Odd. Gassy. Bro, good thing Cappy's not. Cappy's been dealing with some stomach issues, man. She's been really beat up here lately. I feel bad for her. Man, we haven't seen a lot this morning. Let's go one more page here. Yeah, Automod's super bully. Yeah, yeah. Shut up, Lee. Oh, Jesus, dude. Switch sale gives you 3 popular horror games for $3. Take a look, see if we can get some people some horror games on sale. All right, let's go look at our other search real quick. Uh, Interesting. Looks like there's some unions trying to pop up at Sega at this point. Let's take a look at that. Cult of the Lamb's huge free update adds post game. Dude, Cult of the Lamb was so much fun. Got some mean toots this morning, bro? Nice. Tootbot, dog. Tootbot. Sucks to be happy. um, Cult of the Lamb was such a fun game, dude. Okay, Kayla. All right, all right. Yeah, it's good to see you. I hope you get some more rest. Um, so Cult of the Lamb was a great game. We played it pretty close to release, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. It's like right up my. It's like uh, it was a mashup of a lot of different games, really. But it's got a very like kind of dark, ominous vibe to it, which is neat. I enjoy that. It's a Devolver published game. They always go for the quirky, weird kind of games too, and it was cute. It was dark. It was like a roguelike dungeon crawling, um, kind of bullet hell, base or like base, not base building, but like more of a town builder kind of situation. There's a lot of different stuff that kind of went on in this game, and it was a lot of fun. The issue I had mainly was I played it on. There's 5 different difficulty settings, and the hardest difficulty was not hard. I only died a few times in the game on the hardest difficulty, which felt underwhelming. You got 5 different difficulty settings, and the hardest one was just a breeze. Really, that's kind of weird to me. Also, I had like a game breaking bug that got basically permeated through my save file. So every time I would load up, it wouldn't take long before this weird bug would pop through my gameplay and really start wrecking everything and made it really hard to keep playing the game. So luckily we were close enough to end game that I could just push the end and finish the game. We got lucky in that aspect of our playthrough. But it felt bad because I was really planning on getting at least like another day of. There was stuff I still wanted to get done in the game, and I just couldn't because the bug was so bad. God, yo, random mode time. Let's go. But I am glad to see that. Like, nice, dude. Rack attack. There's a big update coming. That's great. That's great stuff, man. Dude, this game looks awesome. WrestleQuest, this is another game that I am absolutely going to play on release. This game looks so fun. I don't necessarily care to see, a bunch of interview about voicing the characters for the game because that's not really news. I mean, it's interesting, but it's not really news. I am interested though. Like, it's on my wish list. Um, but I didn't think they had a date for the release yet. Yeah. Coming soon. And then Wrestle Story is something we saw recently also. I'm not even a big wrestling fan. I liked wrestling whenever I was like a little kid and stuff. But they both look dope. And this says coming soon now. I wonder when we're gonna get this. Hmm. This game looks cool though. I'd like to know a date. I'm guessing it's gonna be here pretty soon. Yeah. We need to look at Minecraft Legends reviews. Yeah, yeah. Look, the since the dude, we've talked a lot here recently about Activision Blizzard being bought out by Microsoft. And I had stayed away from it for a long time because it had gotten kind of stagnant with no new info. It was basically roadblocked. There was a lot of obstacles being presented by regulatory committees and bodies, and there just wasn't a lot new coming out. So we've touched on it here again lately, just to have some. It does seem like it's finally moving forward. There are articles, there are clips out there on the YouTube channel if you want a breakdown. I've done a few here lately. Um, just clips out of the news segment that are public that you can go take a look at. That you'll be able to get kind of a decent little breakdown of what's going on. But I said from the get go, I thought that this would come to fruition. I figured that Microsoft would be able to buy Activision Blizzard. It does look like it's happening sooner rather than later, finally. So there's still a couple of little hurdles left, but they've gotten over most of it, and it's going to happen. It looks like it's going to happen. Why am I never close? You troll too much, dude. That's why. That's why, dude. It knows, Randomote knows that you're just trolling all the time, and it's like, well, got to give some back. Got to give Wick taste of that medicine. Let's look at Minecraft Legends real quick. We've heard a little bit from our buddy Chain Wolf too. I mean, the gist of what I'm hearing about Minecraft Legends is that it's like okay. It's we've got it's still sitting at about a 63% positive on Steam right now of closing in on 1,500 reviews. Let's see what Metacritic has to say. Come on, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's about there. Critic reviews out of 27, we're talking a 68, and then user scores out of 41. There's a 5.8. It's not doing great. It's not doing great. A lot of what I've heard is like, basically the solo part of the game, solo campaign and story of the game and stuff is really underwhelming. PvP is a bit better, but overall it's just I guess maybe like the concept and what they were trying to get done with the game seemed like a good premise, but they didn't necessarily follow through on it very well. Maybe I don't know. So another thing from Microsoft that maybe they were banking on doing really well that doesn't look like it's potentially going to. I guess I don't know. What is this? We'll take a look at that real quick. See exactly what that's bringing to the table for some of those platforms, main gaming platforms there. 7 excellent game deals you can't miss during Steam's Xbox Publisher Sale. Let's see if we can get some people some sales on some games. Ninth Circuit squashes Epic Games antitrust suit over Apple. This has been ongoing for a while. They're trying to basically call Apple anti-competitive, and it had to do with like Fortnite and how that was playing out with the money that Apple was making off of it versus like Epic and but apparently Ninth Circuit has squashed it at this point. I don't think there's need to read into much more at this point right now. See if anything happens moving forward, but yeah, we talked about this yesterday. Crash wanting to, or the developer behind Crash Bandicoot wanting to make Crash into a movie. We hit on that yesterday. Diablo 4 gets a new video all about character customization. Let's take a look at that. Hmm. I'm not going to dive into this right now, but here's the thing: Angry Birds posts bizarre smash or pass video on TikTok. Timing doesn't make. We'll pull this up. Here's the thing, though. Sega, right? Sega is actually agreed to terms to buy Rovio. Rovio being the developer behind Angry Birds. There hasn't been anything new for Angry Birds in a while, but not that Angry Birds is the only thing Rovio makes, but that's always been their big thing. It's been a big brand for them. It's been, obviously started off with the games and stuff like that. It's turned into movies and shows and brands for, whatever. It's been on clothes. It's been on all kinds of, retail stuff. And, but Sega has agreed to terms to buy, Rovio. And so maybe this has to do, something like with, that potential acquisition. Let's pull it up. Let's see what's going on. Let's go one more page. Yeah, dude, we've talked about this 2 days in a row now. uh, yeah, yeah. This is just more of what we've talked about. Look, the Star Wars Jedi Survivor physical is not going to be able to be playable unless you download a significant amount of more content for the game. It's not even like, a lot of games you'll purchase, they're playable out of the box as a physical copy, but they'll have like day one downloads, day two downloads to patch the game. So that's not what this is. Star Wars Jedi Survivor actually requires additional download, significant amount of additional download to, to be in addition to the physical disc or media to be downloaded and installed before you'll even be able to play the game. This is something that's turning a lot of people off. It's a large game. We're talking over 150 gigs. And unfortunately, there are just a lot of people in the world that still don't have good internet or internet at all. So they buy physical copies to circumvent having to deal with that part of gaming at all. They want to play a game. They don't want to have to deal with waiting days for a download or having to figure out how to download things at all because they have very, very limited or no access to internet connectivity. I mean, I guess this is one of those problems, right? Hey, Lincoln? Yo, dude, I'll take a Lincoln. Yo, Lincoln, hit me up, dude. I'll start doing commercials. All right, all right, all right. I think I can pull it off, dude. I think I can pull it off. Um, so it's this day and age is like games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So what's the solution here? I don't know what the solution is. The bigger games get, the more of an issue this presents for developers. I mean, it doesn't feel good, but I mean, how do they get around it? What's the obviously the further we move along in gaming, the more we move towards a digital, front of gaming. I've gotten the large part of my catalog nowadays in my library is digital, but I still maintain a small physical catalog, just in case, mostly on a singular platform. Just as like a kind of a backup plan, I guess, if you will, to make sure that if I don't have connectivity at some point, I can pop a game in and play or whatever. And I've got a lot of old stuff too, but even on a modern console, I've got physical stuff. But I don't know what the answer is. We used to have to deal with a lot of discs. we used to have to deal with a lot of discs. It was a big thing back in the day. Whether you talk about from floppy to optical or whatever. I mean, it would be like even for installation or play or whatever. There was different situations and scenarios that would come around. I mean, if you weren't around back in those days, you don't remember gaming back in those days. I mean, there would be games that would have 5 to 10 installation discs, or even on PlayStation 1, there'd be big games like Final Fantasy 7. It'd be like, okay, well, you finished playing disc 1. Please insert disc 2 to continue playing the game, things of that nature. I mean, are we going to have to get back to that point? The thing is, that's very expensive for the developer. And it always has been. But they're trying to not have to get back into that side of things, obviously. More money, less expenditures, right? They want to make more, not spend more. So, Happy, you're talking about, yeah. So, love the actor. Yeah, yeah. I mean, so you're talking about like So, are you getting across the fact that like, because of who you've gotten to know this actor as initially and Shameless just makes it hard for you to see them as any portray any other character? Is that kind of what you're talking about? I mean, that's the way I took. I mean, as far as like being gay or whatever, I don't think anybody should have an issue with that. If that's what you're trying to get at, I don't think anybody should have an issue with that. Um, Personally. But as far as like, that's been one of my issues with this like particular actor as well. Is it's really hard for me to see this actor play anything else after watching him play that character in Shameless for so very long. That's one of those things that has happened to me for other actors and everything too. But I mean, if it's hard for me to know exactly like what you're talking about there, um, for sure. If you're actually referring to him being gay as like a potential issue for you, then I mean, this is something that calling me out. Yeah, yeah, he played a bipolar too well. Wait, what do you mean calling you out? So I'll just say this. Look, ultimately, I don't I don't really think it should. I touched on this yesterday. If that's what you're getting at, then I think that people having an issue with other people loving whoever they want to love, it shouldn't really matter. In my opinion, it shouldn't matter what sex anybody is. And this is coming from somebody that most people would, what I guess most people would refer to as a straight individual. I'm married. I don't have an attraction to the same sex. I don't have an attraction to men. But if that's the case, if that's what we're getting at here, he did play a bipolar very well. Yeah, he did play a bipolar very well. Um, I mean, I touched on this. There's a video I put up yesterday because right now, again, you know, Burning Shores DLC for Horizon Forbidden West is apparently getting a review bombed right now because there is the potential for the player to engage in a same-sex relationship as Alloy, the main character, with another woman. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. I was just making sure. Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that's I mean, as far as like that character or that actor goes and playing like anything else, it's hard for me too cuz dude, I watched a ton of Shameless. And it's really hard for me to see somebody that long play that role and then turn into something different. It's hard for me too. But again, I mean, look, so yeah, I wanted to make sure we were like on the same page. I wasn't trying to like I didn't want to assume that's the way you felt or anything. I just couldn't tell between what we were saying, between what you were putting in chat and everything. I just wanted to make sure we were being clear and everything. So I think as long as I've been doing this now, and as long as most people have been hanging out, you know, people know how I feel about that, and it's ultimately a matter of just I think letting people love who they want to love, and I just want to make sure that people know that that's how I feel about stuff, and I think that that's really what matters, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were clear right there. I didn't want people maybe seeing that that statement you had a couple lines up and it being taken the wrong way. That's all I was worried about, buddy. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, we've already talked about this. Yeah. You can't share on Xbox anymore, like on Twitter. Your ability to like connect Twitter to your Xbox and stuff is gone. Elon Musk totally wrecked Twitter, dude. Jesus. We've also talked about the Apple headset. You know, yeah. Well, look, dude, I talked about this yesterday too. You know, in this art, I'll just post this article for anybody who's interested in what I'm talking about right now. There's an article that we came across about Horizon Forbidden West getting review bombed, which is really unfortunate, just because there is the potential for Alloy, the main character who is female, to engage in a same-sex relationship, and people are throwing a fit about it, which is absurd. That's crazy. But I go into depth on my take on that and stuff. I clipped it yesterday out of the news segment and put it up on YouTube and stuff, and so you can take a look at what I'm talking about here. But I even say, you know, I kind of you know, again, the same. I mean, I'm straight, you know, but I talked about the fact like I'm comfortable enough that like I can talk about the fact whenever like a man is good looking, you know. I'm not attracted in that way. I'm not attracted sexually to men, but I'm comfortable enough that I can like Henry Cavill, dude. That's a pretty individual, man. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's where you start running into and there are a lot of people that I feel like have these like deep seated fears or even like feelings that they don't want people to find out about, or they're like in denial about or something, you know what I mean? And so they like they project real hard as being, you know, they I don't know, it's like they're so scared about it, you know, they're just so scared about this kind of stuff, which is really really weird. It doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, I mean, saying yeah, I mean, they're just people in general. There are some really really beautiful people in the world, man, no doubt about it. You know, and I mean, take gender out of the equation. You know, it's just people in general. There are some really really beautiful people in the world. So the Apple AR VR headset reportedly has terrible battery life for $3,000. We hit on this the other day. We got an introduction to the new Apple headset, and it cost 3K, dude. 3K. You're gonna pay for the Apple headset. You are. You're breathtaking. No, you are. So um it's kind of absurd. You know, you talk about like this Apple headset costing this much, and you know, it's probably only going to work with like, probably only going to work with Apple devices, and you know how Apple does things, dude. It's kind of absurd, in my opinion. Hell, let loose, new roadmap, new modes, battles, and more. New Apex Legends character Ballistic is a terrible father. Okay, dude. Oh, geez, dude. Like, here's another rumor. This is clickbait. I'm not going to dive into this. We will get GTA 6 official news when we get GTA 6 official news. There's so much clickbait out there for this game. It's absurd. I'm so tired of seeing it. Rockstar will give it to us whenever they're ready to give it to us. You know, it'll happen. Everybody just needs to chill out. So much like just rumor mill crap. People try to make anything out of nothing, man. It's insane. Oh, dude, I would straight into that bosom, Doug. Straight into the bosom. Just, I'd be like, you want to play some D&D? Want to get real Warhammery, dog? Yeah, you're right, Reject. Yeah, you're right, dude. Elder Scrolls 6, even a game like games that have like Bloodborne's the same way. Bloodborne, because so many people want Bloodborne to be remade, you know. Yeah, Happy, you're absolutely right, dude. Yeah, yeah. Uh, so Bloodborne's the same way, and that's a game that's been out for years and years and years, right? But so many people want it to be like either like remastered or even remade. But I think most people just want like a remaster for modern consoles. That like anything or a sequel, even you know, if a lot of people would like to see like a sequel to it too. Um, anything like basically just from software tweeting out Bloodborne, it just goes nuts. Like people just lose their crap, dude. Yeah, there are a few games out there like that, man. Happy Tuesday, Reject. What's up, buddy? 3v3 touch hockey multiplayer is now available on Android. Take my wallet. Sorry, I gotta look at that. All right, let's stick with what we got here. Let's see what we got. I'm not a big mobile player, but you know, get some hockey thrown at me. I think they probably will, dude. Clippers are in just a really sorry state, dude, with injuries and everything. You know, pretty rough. I will say that Westbrook's been trying to hold the line for him, man, for real. With Paul George being out and Kawhi Leonard being out, you know, Westbrook's really stepped up to the plate, man. Touch hockey is just golf. It's blasphemy, dude. Golf is what. So much troll, dude. God dang. We're gonna get Rocket League. Oh, dude, I don't usually stream Rocket League, dude. I've streamed it like twice, man. Yeah, I don't know. We might do a little bit of Rocket League, dude. During the 2 year anniversary, man. The 2 year anniversary is in a month. Actually, on the 24th of May. So if anybody wants to get down, if anybody wants to get down on some Rocket League, dude, we can take some time to play some Rocket League together. I'm trash at it. I'm trash at it, but I'll play. I love it. I love it. Well, we can get down. We can get down and play together. I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream, so we got plenty of time to get gaming in and stuff. You know, we'll what we'll do. So what we did last year is the same thing we'll do this year. I'll kick it off. We'll start our stream on the 24th at 6 in the morning. We'll end it on 6 in the morning on the 25th. So there actually won't be a stream on the 25th. Let's get super weird, bro. That's what I'm talking about. So the stream will start on this at 6 in the morning on the 24th of next month. It'll end at 6 in the morning on the 25th the following day. But so there won't be any live content that day, right? Because I will have gone for 24 hours and I'll be really tired. But what we'll do is we'll like start it off with the news for the 24th, and we'll end the day with the news on the 25th. And in between that time, we'll just, you know, fill it up with whatever games we want to play and hanging out and do whatever we want to do. We probably need to start talking about what all we want to do. But Rocket League's definitely something I'm down to. Like, we did it last year too. I played a little bit of Rocket League. We kind of, you know, sometimes there's some stuff that we plan out, and then at least last year, this is the first year we, you know, obviously did the anniversary stuff, but it's like we planned a little bit of stuff out, and then we just kind of like winged it a little bit too, you know. But yeah, I like pulled up Rocket League for a little bit towards the end of the 24-hour stream and played a little bit because I was like, I don't know what to do and I'm tired, and I just pulled up Rocket League and played for a little bit. But yeah, I'm down for that, man. I'm down for that. I love Rocket League. That's a toxic game, dude. There's a toxic community in that game, man. It's pretty brutal. You come across some cool people sometimes, but man, there's a lot of just angry a-holes in that game. But I'm down, dude. I'm down. I'll still pull it up every once in a while. Like sometimes at night, whenever I'm like in between doing content and like letting some things like load up or whatever, I'll like play a match or two. And yeah, so I still play occasionally. I just don't ever stream it. It's just not something I care to stream. Most of the time, anyways. Hell Let Loose, new roadmap, new modes, battles, and more. World War II enthusiasts, get ready for an exciting year ahead. Hell Let Loose's developers have revealed their ambitious roadmap for 2023, featuring 2 new game modes, battles, and the finish of Winter War, and transparent communication with the community. World War II fans, it's time to gear up. This game hasn't done too well so far, right? Or no, not Hell Let Loose. I was thinking of the other one. Hold on. Hell Let Loose, I think, is actually doing all right. Yeah, it's doing pretty good. What was the strategy, the World War strategy game that came out here recently? Not doing very well. It's like a real-time strategy kind of scenario. God, what was the name of that game? I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. There are a lot of people. Was it Company of Heroes 3? Is that it? Yeah, dude, this is it. There are a lot of people hyped about this. Look at this, dude. Sorry, I had them mixed up, but this just came out in February. Yeah. Yeah, this just came out in February. There were a lot of people that were hyped about this game too, and apparently it is just terrible, man. It's just terrible. A lot of people were like, "This is no better than the second game, and actually not even close to being as finished as the second game. It feels like a mobile title. It's like just I've seen reviews where it's just getting obliterated. Pretty bad, dude. Pretty bad." But I had them mixed up. I apologize. World War II fans. Yeah. Developers of the popular first-person shooter Hell Let Loose have just dropped a video revealing their ambitious roadmap for 2023. Owen Gower, an expert in the gaming industry, is here to give you the lowdown on what's in store. TLDR, what's coming this year for Hell Let Loose is 2 new game modes launching in July and December, battles in the Finnish Winter War, and Danzig Post Office. Free DLCs with each major update, robust introduction system for new players starting in July, transparent communication with the community. New chapter in Hell Let Loose. The announcement of the 2023 roadmap coincides with the opening of a new studio and the release of U13.5 on April 5th. The developers are committed to enhancing the quality of life in the game and updating existing content, all while offering free DLCs with each major update. Let's see this real quick.
Hell Let Loose might have just cemented itself as the best World War II tactical shooter out there. The ambitious 2023 roadmap for the game has been revealed by Team 17 after they took over from the original developers Black Matter. And holy moly,
bro, I would take a Lincoln. I would take a Lincoln.
To come out of the reveal on YouTube.
Those cars look nice, dude. Overpriced, I'm sure. Most cars are nowadays.
Of content with regular cadence of updates for the game. So every calendar year, we're going to focus on 1 year from World War II. For us, that means starting in 1939 all the way through to the end of the war in 1945.
So, not only are we getting the British forces in June, but we are also getting...
Have to get them to stitch the OA icon into the headrests of the seats, you know what I'm saying? Get that alt orange interior with the OA icon in the seats.
This also means, logically, that we're going to get the French forces added in the years to come, along with the Japanese and Italians.
I'm going to have to start hitting up Lincoln, dude.
Fantastic news, and we'll breathe life into this game for years to come. We're also getting new...
I'll be like, yo, I think I can be, because obviously...
And one of the maps which is going
Matthew McConaughey needs a stunt double for those commercials, so that I think that's where I might be able to work my way into a deal, right?
And the HBO show Band of Brothers. This will be the setting for the new objective-based game mode. In this example, you'll see American paratroopers trying to destroy German-held artillery pieces. I love the idea of this new game mode. It opens it up for players who don't have time maybe for a full hour-and-a-half game of Hell Let Loose. Now, let's run through what's coming out in each of the milestones highlighted in the roadmap. In April, we already know we're getting the health update. This is going to have general bug fixing, the free DLC, helmet DLC. There's going to be a bunch of quality of life improvements, the introduction of improved gameplay analytics, and a premium DLC, cosmetic DLC. In June, there's more bug fixing, another free DLC, further quality of life improvements, more gameplay analytics coming through, and a bunch of map refreshes where they're going to be taking existing maps and refreshing certain elements of them. They're also going to be looking at improved...
There are a lot of people that like this game, man.
Getting around the maps,
I've had a lot of people kind of recommend it too. Or a number anyways, not like a lot, I guess, but a number.
As a consistent piece of feedback from players is something that we refer to as mantling, which we've taken great care into finding ways to improve this throughout the course of the game so that it feels like a smoother experience for players, and so that they don't feel like they're getting caught up in the objects in the environment, but rather using the objects in the environment to their advantage.
That sounds great to me. Seems like it's going to be easier to move around the map. It's going to be less janky. You're not going to get your foot stuck on some little twig or branch that's on the ground or anything like that, which can happen on a lot of the forest maps, for example. Another cool feature they're introducing is non-verbal communication tools, basically hand signals for players that may not want to use their mic or for whatever reason fancy bit of role-playing and can do some cool hand signals. Now, in July, there's a bunch more general bug fixing, as well as the introduction of a new tutorial system, and we'll get the first taste of that objective-based game mode, along with the 101st Airborne DLC. In September, the game is going to be available on Windows 10, and there's going to be a further round of map.
Steam Deck verified in September. That's cool.
And there'll be yet another premium DLC. While in December, we get further details about the new tutorial system and the new game mode Skirmish, which will introduce the Battle of Danzig and Winter War, along with the Finnish and Polish forces. I'm super excited to try out those new game modes and the new forces that they're bringing forward. I think it's a smart idea to explore every aspect of World War II, all the forgotten battles, all the areas that are overlooked in most World War II shooters. Guys, what do you think of this ambitious roadmap for Hell Let Loose? They got a bunch of new content, a bunch of new features, a bunch of new game modes, all this new stuff coming. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments below. And thanks for watching.
Cool. For all our Hell Let Loose fans, there we go. Nice. I mean, you like to see this from developers, you know, throwing out a roadmap, letting everybody know what they're trying to bring to the table, and that's good stuff, man. It's good. Yeah, this is a lot of what they talked about, but I'll link this for everybody to take a look at if you're interested in reading more about it or taking a look at that video again, okay? There you go. There we go. New Apex Legends character Ballistic is a terrible father, murdering everyone to protect his son. All right, what is this, dude? I want to break a sacred vow made to the dead to save the living. Respawn has just debuted Ballistic, the latest addition to the Apex Legends roster, in a new cinematic trailer. The latest stories from the Outlands video introduces Ballistic, properly known as August Montgomery Brinkman, as a very sad, very rich old man A former competitor in the Thunderdome games, Ballistic looks regretfully back on a lifetime of ignoring his family in favor of his competitive career. But when his son qualifies for the Apex games, Ballistic cleans up, puts on the old gear, and violently forces himself into a syndicate base in order to offer himself as a competitor in his son's place. All cinematic trailer and everything. We'll take a look, see what we got here. It's basically the story of, oh god, dude, the Mockingjay and everything, right? It's like, I volunteer as tribute. You know,
Tonight, we
the Hunger
chart the
Games, man.
meteoric rise and tragic fall of the Thunderdome Games' first celebrity champion, August Ballistic Brinkman. Once, he was part of the inseparable stylish trio of their era. Until Ballistic's penchant for peacocking and selfish playstyle led to a catastrophe that echoed across the Outlands. While many clamor to see how one of the greatest champions of old would fare against contemporary Apex legends, others see him as little more than a has-been and a woefully absent father. The hero, once known as Ballistic, would go from Thunderdome champion to humiliated hermit, forgotten by a world that once adored him. One question remains. What is the legacy of disgraced legend August Brinkman? We're proud to reveal the answer in an OTV exclusive. Ballistic's son,
I don't think that's gonna fix it, bro.
has just qualified for the Apex Games. Be sure to catch his first match this weekend, only on OTV.
Don't cut the hair, dog. He did it.
Mr. Brinkman. Oh, if you're looking for our pension division, they're down the hall, second left.
You and I are going to make a deal.
Ah, yes, I so fondly remember your soft touch negotiation style.
You know this guy? Hush now. It's not your moment, son.
That's a pretty good line.
After years of exile, disgraced legend Ballistic returns to the arena. Will he show the next generation how it's done? Or is he past his prime?
Quite the rating spoon, to be sure. And for this you want what, old friend?
I want to break a sacred vow made to the dead, to save the living. You keep my boy out of the games. He never sets foot on your soil. Then I'm all yours. Do we have a deal?
No. It can't. A technicality? I earned my place.
Dude, this is tomorrow. Okay. Trailer is all cinematic, but it does offer a hint at Ballistic's gameplay abilities as we see him fire a bullet that appears to teleport a guard backwards, at which point the enemy's gun stops working. A new page on the official site reveals a bit more detail on Ballistic's backstory, confirms that he's going to be part of the Assault class. As is customary with many Apex Legends characters, details on Ballistic seemingly leaked months ago. According to those leaks, Ballistic's tactical weapon shoots a projectile that will debuff enemies and cause their guns to overheat. His passive allows him to carry a third weapon, and his ultimate gives nearby teammates buffs like infinite ammo and faster reloads. Excuse me, while upgrading the weapon in that aforementioned third slot to gold. Wow, dude. Sounds good. Ballistic will debut in the upcoming Arsenal season set to launch on May 9th. We'll get a better idea of what to expect from Arsenal with the release of the launch trailer on April 26th. Oh, okay. Okay. Nice. If you need more, I'll link it for you. 3v3 touch hockey multiplayer now available on Android devices. Wick, you should probably just stay away from this, dude. You'd get wrecked. The latest free mobile game from Hypercat, 3v3 touch hockey multiplayer, is now available on Android devices. This game will give sports gaming aficionados hours of fun and excitement thanks to its distinct touch controls and multiplayer functionality. 3v3 touch hockey multiplayer offers multiplayer functionality and unique touch controls. 3v3 touch hockey offers users to compete against friends or AI in frantic, action-packed bouts thanks to its 3D graphics and top-down gameplay. Have total control over how your team performs thanks to innovative easy control system, making split-second decisions that could mean the difference between triumph and defeat will feel like you actually in control. 3 versus 3 instead of 3v3? Yeah, I know, Reject. Yeah, he does sound overpowered a bit, huh? Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I haven't played Apex in about a year, but yeah, he sounds pretty good, dude, actually. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Yet, its unique new elements are what really distinguishes the 3 versus 3 hockey, touch hockey from other mobile ice hockey games. Players now have a new level of strategic play and may fully utilize the touchscreen by drawing their team's paths on the screen in order to control their team. Players can tailor their gameplay and strategy with this innovative new tool, which will help them advance their team. On-screen joysticks are not awkward. For player movement, draw pathways. For shooting and tackling, quickly tap and swipe. Monetization of 3v3, 3 versus 3 touch hockey is meticulous. Mobile game pay-to-win mechanics may be viewed as unfair and discouraging by players who don't want to shell out cash to advance. It may widen the divide between those players who can afford to pay and those who cannot, making the game less fun and competitive. Says Jaakko Väisänen, the creator of the Hypercat video game. Players won't get an unfair edge by using money to buy new team colors or eliminate advertisements. 3 versus 3 touch hockey now available on Google Play Store and Android devices, likely to please whether you're an avid hockey fan or just looking for a fun and tough mobile game. Interesting, man. Interesting. Love some hockey, dude. Here. I had to pull it up. 7 excellent game deals you can't miss during Steam's Xbox Publisher Sale, which is going on now. Like a lot of modern gamers, I'm an Xbox Game Pass subscriber. I get a lot out of the subscription service, using it to play everything from Microsoft's first-party exclusives to smaller indie sensations like Citizen Sleeper. There's just one downside to that. I don't own any games I play on it. If Microsoft decided to pull a game like Forza Horizon 5 one day, I'd have to shell out if I ever wanted to continue my progress. It's a peculiar side effect to the gaming subscription era, one that still makes me eager to buy any Game Pass title I love. Yeah, the benefit behind it being, if you are a Game Pass subscriber and there is a game that you really enjoy, you get a 20% discount on that game if you want to buy it off of Game Pass, right? So that's at least something. If you're in the same boat as me, Steam can help. PC Storefront is currently running an Xbox Publisher Sale, which features major discounts on some of Microsoft's biggest titles. From now until May 4th, you will find heavy hitters like Halo Infinite and Gears 5 discounted. What's particularly eye-catching is that tons of excellent games are currently on sale for $20 or less, with some of Xbox's best exclusives selling for as low as $5. If you're looking to buy some of your favorite Game Pass titles, here are 7 deals you should know about. Grab all of them for just over $86 US. Looks like Psychonauts 2 for $20, Gears Tactics for $14, Pentiment for just over $13, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice for $7.50. Hellblade 2 is supposed to be coming out this year and looks amazing, actually. Hellblade 1, Senua's Sacrifice, is supposed to be fantastic. And Hellblade 2 looks incredible. It's UE5. It just looks phenomenal. I mean, time will tell. We'll need to actually play the game to know, but it looks it's one of my most anticipated games right now. Sunset Overdrive for $5. Ori the Collection for $10. Ori games are awesome. And Halo the Master Chief Collection for $16. So there you go. They have like a bit of a show and description of each of these titles as well if you want to take a look. So I'll link this for you guys if you're not familiar with any of those titles. Okay. Diablo 4 gets new video all about character customization. Today, Blizzard Entertainment aired a new video of its upcoming RPG, Diablo 4, during which the developers discussed character customization. The video explores the theme of customization in several ways, starting with a visual customization, including both your character's basic look and transmog that allows you to establish the looks of your gear. More customization comes on the functional side, starting with a skill tree and then moving on to the super complex Paragon boards. Then there's crafting, which lets you customize your items in what appears to be a rather free-form way. Let's see this video. What are we talking about here? 7 minutes? Yeah, let's take a look. See what they got for us. A lot of hype about D4.
In the eternal conflict between the high heavens and the burning hells, Diablo 4 offers you more choice than ever before. Player choice is infused into everything, from how you look, the skills you use, the loot you equip, your path through the non-linear story, to how and when you choose to explore the shared open world.
We want players to play their own way and have their own choice of how they're going to build their character.
Between all of our different systems, you can really create a custom character in ways that was not available in previous Diablo titles. When you log into Diablo 4, the first thing you're gonna have to do is create your character. And those familiar with Diablo are going to be very
should be a
familiar
necromancer,
with the
by the way.
all the classes sitting around the campfire.
In Diablo 4, we got 5 classes. The Barbarian is your fantasy of a fierce warrior fighter.
The Barbarian is the weapon master of Diablo 4.
I might be a little bit
able
biased.
To pick up any weapon, jump
You know,
into the fray,
might
and
be
do really badass
a little bit
stuff.
partial there
They're
to the
very
necro, but
strong, they're very physical. They can take different weapons for different situations and use them to their maximum effect.
The sorcerer is really your elemental mage. You have fire, ice, lightning.
I always
You
liked
focus
playing a
on
Sork
one, or
in
you can be a
D2
jack of
as
all
well.
trades
Sork was
mage
fun.
And use abilities from all 3.
They're a little more fragile than other classes, tend to be more ranged. The rogue, unlike the barbarian, they are a little bit more clever. They're very fast. They have the ability to imbue their weapons with different elemental energies, and they can modify them to do different things.
The rogue has 2 different types of play styles. You have the ranged crossbow type gameplay, or you have the in-your-face daggers, poisons. You can lead the enemies into traps that have huge effects. More stealthy type gameplay.
I'm willing to bet you the
druid
bow
is
version
really
of the
a
rogue is going to be the
shapeshifter.
more
When you cast certain
efficient.
skills, you change your form, what you look like.
More
and what
played,
you can
probably.
do.
But
So
I
you
mean, I
can
could be
turn
wrong.
into werebears or werewolves.
I enjoy
If
more
cast
of a
werewolf
dual-wielding,
skill, I
like,
turn into a werewolf, and I do
dagger-wielding
werewolf
rogue,
things.
you
If
know?
I cast like pulverize, for example, which is a werebear skill, I turn to a werebear, I slam the ground really hard. Fits the fantasy, it's pretty cool. They can also become masters of nature magic with earth and storm magic. Last but not least, we got the Necromancer. They raise armies of the dead. They have different types of minions. You've got your skeletal warriors, your skeletal mages, and then your golem.
You have blood magic or bone magic that you can also take advantage of and tackle combat that way. If you've played a previous Diablo game and you enjoyed a certain play style, you can actually bring that into Diablo 4, or just try something completely new.
No matter which class you play, there's going to be multiple different avenues and fantasies that you can chase.
You can customize your character in ways you've never been able to before, with near endless character creation.
That dude's rocking
and
some
options.
mean
In previous
sideburns, you
Diablo
know?
games, you had to be attached to certain archetypes and look a certain way. And in Diablo 4, it's really up to you.
Trying to
how you want your
get
character to look.
back to that
You'll be able to
70s
choose from
sideburn
different
look
facial
almost.
structures from people all over the world.
Had those
No
suckers
matter
down
where you
there.
are, you'll be able to say, hey, I can actually make someone that looks like me or looks like someone from my part of the world, which we're really proud of. You can pick a hairstyle for your character, and every class actually has a specific hairstyle that no other class can use. You can pick your eye color. We have some really fun ones. We have eye glowing, we have a bloodshot type eye, and then you can actually pick a marking, which is a tattoo or a design that covers your entire character, and there are dozens of those.
Transmog is the idea that you can take a piece of gear and change the appearance
This
of it
is
to
great.
look like a different piece of gear. As far as
Hogwarts
aesthetics,
Legacy
sky's
actually
the
did a really
limit.
good job
However
with
you can
this.
think of making your character, you can make it that
More,
way.
this is one of
Everybody's
the
going to
issues
look
that I
completely
pointed out with
different
Witcher
in
3 was
Diablo
like
4.
transmog. They needed to do transmog in that game.
One of our pillars for class design in Diablo 4 is this idea that
more
we want players
RPGs need to be
play the
taking
way
the
that they want to.
transmog
When you
thing
first start the
seriously.
game,
So
we
many of
introduce
us
you to
love
idea
the
of skill
lipstick. You
tree.
know,
As you
we want to
level
be able
up, you
to
get access to these different skills or
look how we
passives or
want to
upgrades
look.
to make your
If
character
there's a
more
piece of
powerful.
equipment we really
Each
liked the way we
category
looked that we
has
got
a
at some
few
point in the
different
game, we should be able to
skills that
maintain
are
that
all
look
similar.
moving
They're
forward.
either all defensive
Until we find
or
something we might
all
look
offensive,
like more.
all ice or all fire. You can either focus on a very specific section, or you can pick and choose.
The first skill point when you unlock a new skill is going to give you access to that skill. After that, you can put additional points into any skill that you have, and it's going to make it better, whether it increases the radius or adds some new effect or reduces the cooldown through some special way.
You can actually branch out in a very different direction, even if two characters actually started at the same place. The Paragon board is a late game system that once you've completely filled out your skill tree, you think you have a build, it will really let you delve into the theory crafting and the depth of Diablo 4's skill system.
And these boards, they can move through them spending their Paragon points, and they have nodes that give them very basic stats like intellect or dexterity. We also have more powerful nodes. We have rare nodes that have different effects where they can totally modify a skill to do something additional or different, or they can even make new connections between skills so that players can have new ways to play their character. Legendary nodes are equivalent to legendary powers, where they have more powerful effects that can change the builds and ways that characters play.
You can
That looks
start
cool.
planning this long journey of, okay, I want to hit this node, and then I want to hit this node. I'm going to apply this board, and I'm going to start from this side, and really just get into a super complex, very specific build for your character.
Legendary items are really rare and powerful items that you're going to find as you adventure through the world of Sanctuary. We have quite a few different categories of legendaries and how they do that. Some of them will actually change your skill or enhance it in some way.
Frozen Orb, for example, it might say, hey, every single time you use your Frozen Orb, it applies a new effect. And then I can actually take advantage of that new effect that it has. Even if the item itself is maybe not as good as the one you have, you can still extract that power from it, take advantage of it, and use it for your build.
One thing that our players can look forward to is that a lot of our classic, really rare, and most powerful items from previous titles are going to be returning as uniques in Diablo 4.
Unique items are very similar to legendaries, but they're unique, which means if that ability is actually on a chess piece, it's always going to be on that chess piece because it's more powerful than a regular legendary effect.
Crafting is
That's the way a unique item should
all
be.
kinds of different ways that you could upgrade and
It's always one of my
interact with
issues whenever
NPCs to make
you
your
get into
gear better.
games and they're like,
You can increase
yeah, we
the
got
item
unique
level or
items
power of your gear,
as
so you can actually get a
something
piece of gear
separate
just to
from
make it stronger. You can
regular
also
tiered
add sockets to your gear so that
items,
you
you
can
know,
put gems inside
and then
of
you
it.
get a
There are
unique
a lot
item
of
and
different
it
ways
literally there's
that players will be
nothing
able to customize
special
their
about it. There's
experience in
nothing
Diablo 4.
unique
Every single
about
player
it.
is going
We
to have
just
a
we just
different
dealt with this
experience
issue
and a
in
different build at the
Divinity
end of the
Original
day.
Sin
Because we have all of
playthrough,
these
and I was like,
different
what's the
ways to
point?
make your own
The unique
character,
items were actually
there's a
trash
lot
all the way
more
through the game.
possibility compared to
They
previous
didn't
titles
show,
of
they didn't
how
give you
wanna
anything
play,
unique.
how you want to
Really.
build your character. We really are doubling down on this idea that you can look the way you want, you can play the way you want, you can really make your own fantasy in this game.
Hell welcomes all, and so does Diablo 4. In the coming weeks, we'll be sharing even more about how to play your way. Now, our launch on June 6th is getting closer. Closer still if you got early access. And we can't wait to see you in Sanctuary. Hail Lilith, Blessed Mother.
Lilith is spicy, by the way. All right, cool, man. D4 will release for PC, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PS5, and 4 on June 6th. Almost 2 months away. Game has already gone gold, which means that it's literally ready to roll. They're boxing it up. They're shipping it out. They'd basically take something catastrophic to delay the game at this point. They've got links for a recent video about the game, live action trailer for the recent beta, and the servers, link to info about the Server Slam beta that's coming next month, okay? They got other links in here, so take a look. But that was pretty cool. We've seen a lot of stuff for D4 here recently, and we've had a lot of community members that have done beta stuff that have been giving us some info too, which is good. People are enjoying the game, which is great. I'm glad. You were thinking Diablo and Diablo 2? What do you mean, Mithril? What's up, buddy? What do you mean thinking Diablo and Diablo 2 for what? You might have been playing off something I said, and I just am not grasping. Sorry. Angry Birds posts bizarre Smasher Pass video on TikTok. Angry Birds Movie 2, they can't believe it either, is what this picture's from. This isn't fake. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that, honestly, I enjoy what this game looks like way, because it takes you, I mean, obviously, it's way more graphically enhanced than either 1 or 2, but I think the style of the animation and the world and everything is a take back to D1 and D2 as opposed to like D3. I think that's what a lot of people have been looking for. Oh, you said uniques. Yeah. And I've heard a lot of that from people too, and because look, I mean, I've said this time and time again, D1 and D2 are like probably my favorite games of all time, it would probably go something like this. Top 3 would be like Final Fantasy VII, Diablo 2, and then Diablo 1. Those are my jams, and so D3 was a huge disappointment for me. I didn't like it, and I didn't play it after initial release because I was so turned off by it. I know that they improved it from what a lot of people think and say, but I never went back to it. I was just too turned off. But I have heard a lot of people say that D4 feels like more of a take back to like D1 and D2 as far as the ambiance goes and the environment and the universe goes. And I think that's a very good thing. So I've heard great things so far, and I hope it's very good. I really do. I'm not currently planning on playing it because I don't play Blizzard games right now. I don't want to support that company, but I do hope it's good, Yeah, I mean, I've said this time and again. I mean, I stood in line at to get my collector's edition of D3, which I still have. It's in pristine condition. I stood in line at midnight to get that thing. I stayed up, I installed, I played, I beat the game, and then I uninstalled and I never touched it again because I was so severely disappointed in that game. It was like the first indication to me that Blizzard was not the Blizzard that I fell in love with anymore. And, so that was the downfall of Blizzard for me. That was where I started seeing them turn into something that they were no longer that company I fell in love with, whenever I was younger, Yep, absolutely, Shay. Yeah, they are definitely one of those companies that got absolutely blinded by greed. It seems, I don't think it's it's easy. I think it's easy, I don't want to like sit here as somebody on the outside looking in and go, because I talk about this a lot, and I don't want it to come off as like I think game development's easy or anything like that, or business necessarily is an easy thing either, because I absolutely don't think that. But there are just so many. It's obvious there are so many big developers that they totally lost touch, it feels like, of what made them great in their early days. They became so completely overrun with just business-minded individuals and just dollar signs in their eyes, other than what made them great in the first place was, these visions of fantastic, gaming experiences they were bringing to the table for us. And I understand that businesses, as they grow, there has to be more of a balance between the two, but a lot of them seem like they totally lost the quality gaming aspect of things, and they just got totally blinded by money, Oh, dude, Mithril. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Shay. And look, there are still big developers that do a good job, I think. There are just some that have been prime examples of losing their way. I think Blizzard's one of the main examples of that happening, in my opinion. But they're still good big devs that are doing a solid job, and maybe maybe not that they're the same companies they were at one point, in their early days, but they've maintained a solid job moving forward while being a big company. And then there's some that have just, I think, really really lost it, as far as a lot of us gaming enthusiasts are concerned. How are you, Shay? What's up? No, this isn't fake. The official Angry Birds TikTok account has put out a bizarrely inappropriate smash or pass video. Interesting. Companies using popular internet memes and trends to try and advertise their products is nothing new, but very rarely do these efforts not come across as cringy or weird. The Destiny 2 toaster, born from a meme, was mildly amusing, but then you have instances like EA's use of a TikTok trend inadvertently angering a significant portion of its audience and even its own employees. The latest example is perhaps the most bizarre we've ever seen, as it involves the official Angry Birds TikTok account putting out a smash or pass video involving other video game characters. For the uninitiated, smash or pass videos are pretty much what they say on the tin. Someone cycles through a series of characters and, to put it less crudely, says whether or not they find them attractive. Would you smash or would you not smash? Okay? It's not hard to decipher exactly what that means, right? Oh, for real, Shay? Oh, I'm sorry, man. You'll find a surplus of such videos online, but we cannot fathom who at Rovio thought it was a good idea to have Red, the protagonist of the Angry Birds movie, admit to saying he'd like to have sex with other characters. It'd be one thing if it was limited to just other Angry Birds characters, but no. The video instead features characters belonging to other companies such as Nintendo, Zelda, and Samus. It's also oddly inappropriate given Angry Birds is an all-ages franchise that's marketed to kids, and while the video doesn't include anything overtly lewd, a couple of pieces of the feature artwork skirts on being not safe for work, like fan art of a weirdly buff Pit from Kid Icarus going topless. The timing doesn't make much sense either. That's what I was getting ready to talk about, since it's not as if there's a new Angry Birds game or movie to promote, with the most recent bit of news being that Sega is buying Rovio. Not just the franchise, they're buying Rovio. Sega has agreed to terms to buy Rovio, the developer, which Rovio's biggest product is Angry Birds. At the very least, Rovio seems self-aware that the whole thing is ridiculous, since it ends with Red enthusiastically declaring smash on Minecraft Steve, a man made of literal blocks. Plus, he makes a point of passing on characters that are underage, so it's nowhere near as skeevy as it could have been. Even if, it's a cartoon bird saying he wants to smash Bayonetta. Judging by TikTok comments, a lot of people are as perplexed as we are, while others are either amused or more upset over Red passing on certain characters like Final Fantasy XV's Noctis. We wouldn't be surprised if after this gains some more traction, Rovio winds up deleting the video, but the internet will most certainly never let them forget that Red would happily bang Tharya from Fire Emblem Awakening. Oh, geez, dude. What? Pinky, dude. Oh, jeez. No such thing as bad press, dude. I guess maybe it's still weird. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. That is quite often the sentiment. Is like no such thing as bad press, right? I mean, and I mean, Angry Birds has really not been around for a while, and maybe this was a play by like Sega and Rovio together to try to get some kind of, stuff going. Because what's Sega gonna do with Rovio's portfolio? I mean, are they trying to revamp Angry Birds? I don't know. I mean, it feels like Angry Birds might have actually, kind of had its time already. Oh yeah, Angry Birds is old. Yeah, I mean, there hasn't really been. I mean, look, Angry Birds has been very successful, but I mean, it seems like maybe it's past its point of return. Really, I don't know. And what's Sega planning on doing with it? Maybe it's a play. I don't know. It's wild. That's wild. It's kind of funny. Kind of cringy too. I don't know. Here, you guys check it out if you want. That's funny though. And Game Driver announces testing support. Pinky, what's up, buddy? Happy Tuesday, man. Testing support for Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and more with new 2023.04 version update. The leading automated testing solution for gaming and XR experiences has announced version 2023.04 of its patented automated automation toolkit. Excuse me. With this release, Game Driver is now supported on Xbox, Switch, Steam VR, and WebGL, in addition to existing support for PC, mobile, and XR platforms. The newly supported platforms mostly apply to the Unity version of Game Driver, allowing potentially millions of developers to achieve better time to market, increased test coverage, and an all-around higher quality product. Unreal Engine developers can expect to see VR support as well as core feature parity between Unreal Engine 4.27, 5.0, and 5.1. This brings test automation one step closer towards compatibility with every major engine and target platform in use today. Additional tooling is also included to ease the creation and maintenance of automated tests. Tools such as the unique and powerful hierarchy path query language are now compatible with Unity's UI toolkit in this release. This adds new query commands to simplify working with applications built using the technology. Developers and QA professionals working with major game engines stand to benefit from these additional features by eliminating the need to manually run regression tests that ensure new bugs aren't introduced. Users can spend more time validating new content, all while repetitive. Cross-platform verification tests are executed automatically via CI/CD systems. Team leads should look at the positive impact this can have on budget, key timelines, and overall quality. Nice, man. Game Driver 2023.04 immediately addresses the needs of developers to build consistent, repeatable, and scalable test automation while covering key platforms. The additional console support is just the beginning, with support for Sony's PlayStation and other platforms planned for the year ahead. Nice, man. Cool. Wait, what? Wait, what? Taking a bath? Nice, dude. Sounds good. Are we talking just like a regular nice hot bath, or are you bath bombing? You know? Or do you got like some lavender up in there or something? Are you getting foo-foo with it, dog? Do you got some Epsom salt? Epsom salt baths are nice, dude. Exfoliating. You know what I mean? Or maybe even you get some essential oils up in there. You know what I mean? What's going on, dude? You know? Horizon Forbidden West sequel seemingly on the way as Guerrilla confirms Alloy's next adventure. In addition to the multiplayer game. Yeah. So we know about this. We'll talk about this too. Guerrilla Games appears to have quietly announced a Horizon Forbidden West sequel while detailing a management reshuffle on its website. Quote, "We have full confidence in our new leadership as they steer Guerrilla towards a bright future, expanding the world of Horizon with Alloy's next adventure and our exciting online project." Reads a post spotted by Eurogamer announcing the departure of veteran studio director Angie Smets. Smets has been promoted to head of development strategy at PlayStation Studios following a near 20-year stint at Guerrilla Games. Future Horizon games will now be developed under the leadership of co-studio directors Joel Eschler, Hella Schmidt, and John Bart Van Beek. As for the sequel, Guerrilla Games' creative director Mathis de Jong, I think, had previously alluded to the potential trilogy by stating that the events of Horizon Forbidden West, including its cliffhanger ending, had set up some key plot points for a possible third game. The mainline games aren't the only way that PlayStation and Guerrilla are planning to flesh out the Horizon universe, of course, as the studio is also developing an online multiplayer game with a brand new cast of characters and a unique stylized look. On top of that, Guerrilla Games' Horizon Call of the Mountain released as a PlayStation VR 2 launch title earlier this year. Alloy is also confirmed to star in an upcoming Netflix series from Umbrella Academy director Steve Blackman set in the dystopian mecha dinosaur-infused universe. So originally what Guerrilla was trying to do was incorporate a multiplayer aspect into the Horizon games, and eventually they went, well, I think this was business decision, but they went, this game's getting very popular. We've got maybe something special in our hands here. Let's just go ahead and turn what we're trying to do here with this multiplayer functionality into its own standalone title. And we've seen a bit of leaked early development stuff from back in like 2020. We saw this about 2 months ago. It got DMCA'd, it got taken down and everything pretty quick, but we got to take a look at it. It wasn't extensive. It was very early and it was pretty short, about 2 minutes worth, maybe tops. But we've known it's on the way for a long time, even before that. And I think we'll get it pretty soon, actually. But looks like Horizon 3, along with the multiplayer, on the way. There are links in there too, so if you need this, don't have those. Have some bath candles in case I feel extra fancy. Let's go, dude. All right, nice. Get some nice, like, chill, fancy ambiance going in the bathtub, yeah? Microsoft reportedly discontent with Xbox performance, says gaming journalist. What's going on? Look, man, I mean, we kind of hit on this. I don't think that I don't think it's going to be anything we haven't hit on already. I think the TLDR here is Microsoft did not have a great 2022. A lot of their first-party titles got delayed. You know, the most recent thing they've done that was of note was Hi-Fi Rush, and I think that was very good for them. They haven't really had anything else, though. Minecraft Legends just dropped. It's subpar, let's be honest. A lot of people aren't enjoying it that much. They haven't had a lot. Redfall is getting a lot of criticism right now. It hasn't even launched. It's going to launch in about a week from today. I think May 2nd, right? And there's already a lot of criticism behind what's going on with that game. I think that there's reason for Microsoft to maybe not be too happy with Xbox right now. Last year was not good for them. They didn't do a whole lot of first party stuff with the console, and a lot of things got delayed to this year. But the Activision Blizzard acquisition is going to pop off pretty quick. That's going to change. That's going to get the ball rolling on a lot of different areas for Microsoft and Xbox gaming. And you can't. Look, Hi-Fi Rush was really good. So it's not like they haven't done anything, but it's minimal. I mean, Hi-Fi Rush is a great thing, but they do need to be doing more. I would agree on that front. So Jeff Grubb, gaming journalist and co-host of the podcast Game Mess, said Microsoft Corporation's management isn't happy with the state of Xbox. Grubb also revealed Hi-Fi Rush failed to generate the expected revenue and discussed the recent news that Redfall, an online multiplayer game and Xbox's first-party exclusive title set for release, would not support 60 frames per second. Yeah, look, I mean, we hit on Grubb's potential statements about Hi-Fi Rush not generating expected revenue, but to be fair, for somebody to state that something like Hi-Fi Rush didn't meet expected revenue, it's not really fair in my opinion. I have an article, man, that I cut out. Yeah, give me a second, Mithril, and I'll hit on what you're putting in chat there. I would say, where is this? Yeah, this right here is kind of my sentiment on that as a whole. It's a clip from a news segment the other day, basically addressing this particular issue where Grubb is stating that Hi-Fi Rush didn't generate the expected revenue for Xbox and Microsoft. But it's hard to quantify exactly how well it's done. The fact that it shadow dropped, the fact that it was at a $30 price point, which is half of what most AAA games drop at nowadays, less than half quite often. And it's hard to know definitively how much it did for Game Pass because it was a day one Game Pass game also. And I guarantee you there were a ton of people that bought into Game Pass or decided to renew Game Pass specifically for Hi-Fi Rush. And to say that it didn't generate the expected revenue, I don't know that they're talking about as a whole or just off of retail sales, and if you're just talking about retail sales, that's not fair necessarily, But yeah, Redfall, a lot of criticism right now. The host-only progression and the coming out on the Xbox consoles, it's going to be locked at 30 frames. Blech, that's really gross, man. This disappointing announcement is part of a larger narrative that Xbox is struggling to compete with Sony and failing to offer enough to entice gamers to choose Xbox over PlayStation. Xbox has always done half of what PlayStation has done. That's nothing new. But Xbox has always had to be unique and creative in finding ways to compete with Sony. And if you've been hiding under a rock or you haven't been paying attention to the industry, Sony has been following a lot of what Xbox has been doing. When you talk about things like subscription service and things of that nature, the PC realm of gaming as well, for what Microsoft and Xbox has been doing, Sony's trying to follow suit in that realm too. There's a lot of things that Xbox has been doing to kind of lead the way that Sony is trying to follow and emulate. So it's not like Xbox is doing nothing, but they've had to do these things to be competitive, because Sony's always been able to just sit there head and shoulders above Xbox. They've always sold double consoles. They've always sold more software. So it's not like this is necessarily anything new. But to be fair, Xbox hasn't been helping themselves over the past year either. Struggle is reflected in the sales figures, with PS5 continuing to outsell Xbox Series consoles. PS5 sales in March were up 5 times compared to the same period last year. Meanwhile, Nintendo Switch saw an 18% decline in sales year over year. The Switch is just, it's still selling well. It's just old. People are ready for a new Nintendo console. That's all that is. And Xbox Series XS sales were down by 10%. Grub and co-host Mike Minotti shared their thoughts about Series X. Right now, games are sort of happening. It feels sloppy in a lot of ways. I think people who have been investing a lot of money buying Xbox Series X starting to look around and say, this doesn't feel as right as it did at the beginning of the generation when there was a lot of promise. Furthermore, the reporter pointed to corporate politics as the best explanation for Xbox's disappointing performance. But he remarked, doesn't that happen everywhere? Even though Grubb didn't discard the possibility that platform rectifies its path, he remained quite skeptical. Things could go around very fast. If Starfield is a success and the Activision Blizzard deal closes, which I do think it will close very soon, a lot of those hurdles that were presenting itself over the past half year have kind of been taken care of. There are a couple left, but ultimately I think the Activision Blizzard acquisition is about to come to fruition, really. I think there's just as much reason to think they won't, and these problems could continue, states the article. Until we see proof otherwise, I think it's completely fair to call Microsoft off and say, what are you doing, Grubb said. Quote, I think they're committed, especially with this Activision deal. I think it feels like they're committed for the next 5 or 10 years to see that stuff through. I do think that some people inside the company might be on the outs. Minotti asked Grubb if he thought Microsoft's management was happy with the state of Xbox. Journalists gave a resounding answer. I can tell you they are not. They are upset. Quote, we were just trying to diagnose it a little, right? Grubb added. They didn't release a first-party game last year. That doesn't affect you. If you always have something to play again, that's awesome. But a lot of people do regret their Xbox. Trying to speak to both of these sides. Xbox is a good video game playing platform. There's a whole element here that they've not figured out this generation. Yeah. It does feel like maybe they don't have everything figured out right now. They've definitely had some issues over the past year for sure. Their first party titles have been non-existent basically, so it is an issue. But I mean, I stated this, and I've gone into a little bit of in depth on my own personal opinion. If you look at their acquisition of Activision Blizzard, and especially for anybody that thinks that these deals they've been handing out for the 10-year stuff or whatever is. And most of that has to do with Call of Duty. If you look at that and think that they're not still going to be making money, the possibilities of what they're going to be able to do with this Activision Blizzard portfolio is basically limitless. The portfolio they're gaining off of Activision Blizzard is insane. And honestly, I don't think that there's another company that can buy in and do what Microsoft and Xbox will be able to do with it, because not only are they console, but they're PC as well, which means that they can take all these Activision Blizzard titles and basically use them to their full effect, use them to their full potential on across multiple platforms or whatever platforms work best, as opposed to a company like Sony buying in who just has mainly console, right? So yeah, I don't think that Xbox is performing fantastic right now, but it's not, I don't think, dying. I think there's room for concern, but I think that there's a lot of potential for them to rectify. But they do need first party titles to start coming out in a more consistent basis rather than just nothing over an entire year period, and to be done well. You can't be relying on first party titles that get delayed. Redfall, get delayed significantly and still are getting released at a 30 frame per second. That shows issues, So I would say at this point, they are really, really, really banking on Starfield. I don't think Redfall is going to do it. I don't think Redfall is going to be what they thought it was going to be. I never necessarily did, but especially now that we're seeing more about what's happening with Redfall before release. I could be wrong. We'll see. We got a week. But, Oh, really? Yeah. Yo, Mithril. Extensively researched, and magnesium chloride is superior to magnesium sulfate for bioabsorption. Oh, wait. Let me see this, dude. Totally recommend magnesium chloride flakes, specifically that type, for an excellent bath soak. Helps aches, headaches, tired cramps, etc. Oh, really? Magnesium chloride, huh? Interesting. I'll have to look into that, dude. Yeah. Okay. Nice, dude. Magnesium chloride, huh? Cool. Yeah, thanks, Mithril. All right, man. Yeah, I'll have to look into that, dude. Thank you. Awesome. I don't take baths often, but every once in a while, dude, I enjoy a nice soak, I enjoy a nice soak. For sure. Microsoft is also getting wrecked on the AI field because of increasing filters and censorship of their Bing AI. Oh. Yeah. Word. Cool. Nice. Thanks. PS5 exec doesn't want to see gaming's future dominated by live service games. Boring. I disagree. I don't think it's boring. I think live service games are a lot of fun. I think that I understand why execs don't want to see gaming's future dominated by live service games, but we're already kind of there. Live service games are very, very popular, and it's not ever going to be. It's not like the entire industry is ever going to be totally, pushed over into live service. I don't see that. There are a lot of people who enjoy just the single player campaign scenario stuff that you're not going to need live service for, and but live service is already mainstream, very, very popular in the gaming industry, and I think the reason why a lot of creative like a lot of people in maybe the development side of gaming and stuff see it as something they're not really super interested in because it's difficult. Live service games it's a rough space. It's very polluted now because it is very popular, and it's a tough thing to do because it is so polluted. You're trying to create some kind of unique gaming software, that will be able to pull people away from the other very popular live service games that are out there, whatever that genre may be. You're trying to pull people away initially, get them interested in your title enough that they come over from what they're normally playing to at least try it out. And then what you have to do is maintain that interest, right? So if you're able to pull people over, you've done the first key thing you need to do, which is to get them over there and testing out your product. Then the bigger hurdle is keeping them there, which requires continual content updates. And that's not necessarily something that a lot of developers are interested in doing. It's not a lot of fun, I don't think, for a lot of developers, right? So I'm not surprised to see like a PlayStation exec come out with this kind of statement. Although PlayStation is in the midst of a big push into live service games, one executive of the company doesn't want to see the games industry become too homogenous. Speaking to The Guardian, PlayStation boss Shuhei Yoshida, or what is that? Shuhei Yoshida? I might have butchered that. I'm sorry. Explained that the talent of game developers is what drives the industry forward. But he did admit that seeing the best-selling games list dominated by live service titles would be boring for him. The games industry will never cease to be a fun place. The industry keeps growing and growing. I hope it keeps supporting and chasing creative ideas and people who try to work on new things. You don't want to see the top 10 games every year being almost the same. All games becoming service games, Yoshida said. That would be a bit boring. I don't know. How can you say that just because a game is live service, it can't be creative? I don't know that I agree with that sentiment, you know? Just because a game is a live service game makes it boring because people aren't able to put their creative minds to play at what a live service game is as opposed to a game that's not live service. I don't know that I agree with that sentiment. Sony has an ambitious goal to launch 12 live service games by 2025. Recently acquired developer Firewalk Studios from its previous parent company, Probably Monsters Incorporated. Firewalk has worked on Call of Duty, Destiny, Apex Legends, Halo, and other titles since it was formed in 2018. Sony says that Firewalk will help it realize its live service goals alongside other studios working on these projects, including Bungie and Haven Interactive Studios. At the same time, Sony is still working on the prestige single-player games that helped define the PlayStation brand during the 2010s, essentially giving fans of PlayStation the option to have their cake and eat it as they're given more choices. Sony always has several projects in development, and as Yoshida explained in the interview, the company cancels so many games as it experiments with and then evaluates different concepts. For the rest of 2023, PS5 has a big year ahead. Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC is now available. Final Fantasy 16 launches on June 22nd. Spider-Man 2 is rumored to release in September. Yes. So I don't think that first-party game single-player campaign type games are going to go away, but I also don't think that the want and request and need for live service games is going to dwindle. And to say that live service games don't present or allow for developers to implement their creative minds into that software, I don't agree with that. Nintendo Switch Sale gives you 3 popular horror games for $3. The new Nintendo eShop sale gives you 3 popular horror games on Switch for just $3. You have until the end of April 26th to get the collection of games for just 3 Washingtons if you're in the US. As for what the collection of games is, it's the Amnesia collection from well-known horror developer Frictional Games. So the games you'll get are Amnesia: The Dark Descent, Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs, and Amnesia: Justine. Meanwhile, the discount comes right in time for the release of the latest game in the series, Amnesia: The Bunker, which is out on May 23rd. However, it won't be available on the Switch, at least not at release. All right. On the Switch, the collection would demand 5.3 gigs of space. For this and $3, you get a game that supports all 3 modes of play and the following language options: English, German, Italian, Portuguese, Russian, and Spanish. Content-wise, you'll get 13 to 19 hours of scares, depending on your playstyle and completion ambitions. All right. There you go. If you're interested in getting some of the Amnesia series there. Maybe a nice playthrough before the Bunker releases, yeah. Sonic maker Sega is the video game industry's next union battleground. We've seen a lot of unions pop up in the industry after, so much talk and not just talk, but I guess we have found out so much information about the bad culture of, like crunch culture and the maybe not necessarily great ways in which a lot of developers have treated their employees over the years. unions have become a very, very popular thing for the employees of developers to start being a part of nowadays. We saw it kind of kick off with Raven Software, which is a subsidiary of Activision Blizzard, and it's just kind of been a domino effect. A lot of other unions are coming about in the gaming industry from within developers. Sonic Maker Sega is the video game industry's next union battleground. Workers at the Persona publisher are organizing for better pay and healthcare. Over 140 workers at Sega of America's Irvine, California office have announced plans to form a new union to fight for better pay, adequate staffing, and more balanced schedules. It's the latest front in the video game industry's growing unionization movement and the first to move its focus beyond strictly game developers. As first reported by The Verge, the group is forming its union with the Communications Workers of America and has already filed a petition for an election with the National Labor Relations Board, or NLRB. Though it's calling on Sega to voluntarily recognize it, the news comes just a week after leftist content creator The Swoletariat released a TikTok showing Sonic educating people on how to unionize fast. The home of Sonic the Hedgehog, the Japanese publisher, is also responsible for other beloved franchises like Yakuza and Persona, with its Sega of America branch responsible for helping test, localize, and market games for audiences in the Americas. In addition to QA testers, the proposed union will also include employees in community management, product development, and brand marketing roles, making it potentially one of the most organizationally diverse units so far if the bid is successful. QA testers at the Call of Duty studio Raven Software, like I said, were the first major developer to unionize at, my bad. QA testers at the Call of Duty studio Raven Software were the first to unionize at a major game publisher, followed by testers at BioWare, Blizzard, and Bethesda. Yeah. So far, Microsoft has been the only company to voluntarily recognize unionizing gaming industry workers, following a promise it made to the CWA in exchange for union support for its acquisition of Activision Blizzard. CWA is calling on Sega to sign onto a similar pledge of neutrality when it comes to union activity. Publisher didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. All right, we'll see what happens. But this is, again, it's been a domino effect, man. And, I mean, it seems needed, honestly. This is the effect of businesses not taking care of employees most of the time. You know, you don't take care of your employees. You continually, harbor and develop a culture of taking more and more advantage of employees. Crunch culture, and doing things like, there are a lot of companies you'll see that do things like take what should be full-time positions and under laws put them at an hourly rate to where you don't have to pay benefits. So they'll spread these like positions out into multiple positions instead, just to avoid paying people benefits and stuff like that. There's a lot of really gross tactics that are out there by employees or employers, excuse me. And ultimately, it ends up resulting in this kind of scenario. And the gaming industry is, as we know today, has had a lot of really bad management stuff going on through a lot of these big developers. So this is the result. Last article I have. If anybody has anything to add, let me know. We'll address it before we move on to day one of Stray. Cool. I'm excited about this. Cult of the Lamb's huge free update adds post-game, revamped enemies, and photo mode. The critically acclaimed roguelike is currently also 35% off. On Monday, developer Massive Monster released the Relics of the Old Faith update, which adds, among other things, a new post-game story, revamped bosses and enemies, deeper combat, and a new photo mode. Relics are an entirely new combat system that we've added for the Lamb to collect and combat. The developer explained on social media, from the Eye of Leshy to a Clonix's Shoe, each of these ideological items will grant a powerful new ability for your crusades. In addition, Massive Monster says it's added several features that were highly requested by fans, such as the ability to unlock previously missed doctrines, battle the final boss again, pause time during crusades, and more. To be honest, quote, to be honest, we never expected so many people to want to play our game. The devotion you've shown is beyond our wildest dreams, it said. We've packed as much as we possibly could into this free update, and we can't wait for you to play it. To mark the release of the Relics of the Old Faith update, Cult of the Lamb is currently 35% off on various gaming platforms. So I mean, this is one of those things, like we talk a lot, like a lot of games nowadays, they come out and it's like any kind of extra content you're going to get, you're going to pay for and stuff. But here you go. I mean, you know, Cult of the Lamb, you're getting a big content update. They've listened to the community. They're trying to incorporate things that the fans of the game wanted. And this is what you like to see, man. And not only is the game a lot of fun, I love this publisher too, which is Devolver. Devolver does a great job publishing wild, quirky games, and this game is no exception. Again, like I said, some of the things that I noted whenever I played through the game originally was that the difficulty scaling did not feel good. There's 5 different difficulty settings. There was like very easy, normal, hard, and very hard. It was something like that. And I played on the hardest difficulty level, and it felt like a breeze, really. It didn't feel very difficult at all. And, you know, in that regard, I mean, you know, you've got 5 different difficulty settings and one that's called very hard, and it just felt pretty breezy. That was something that was a bit off-putting for me. But overall, the gameplay felt really good. All the different kinds of things that you're able to do in that game, they did it very well. It's dark, it's fun, it's funny, you know, it's quirky, and it's a roguelite, it's a dungeon crawler, it's a city builder kind of situation, and it's a lot of fun. They did a lot of stuff well. They mashed a lot of different kind of genres up together, and it's a good time. I highly recommend trying it. Unfortunately, you know, the game did have bugs when it released. I still had a good time playing it, but I did have a very bad bug that got embedded in my save file. And so we kind of had to end the game a little bit earlier than I wanted to. But luckily, it didn't happen until we were close enough to be able to go ahead and end the game. But hopefully, they've got a lot of that stuff worked out at this point. And looks like a nice new piece of big content. And you can see the list here. The patch notes. This is everything they're adding in here. And the photo mode, general accessibility achievements. They do have a DLC pack that you can buy. But this specific is just a free patch, a big content patch update. So this wasn't a game that came out at a high price point or anything either. So I highly recommend. This game was a lot of fun. I'll link this for you guys to take a look at. And it makes me kind of want to dive back in here at some point maybe. Them's the breaks, baby. That's the news for today, April 25th. Thank you guys. You're amazing. I appreciate it. We're going to go on, play some Stray. Day 1 of Stray, man. This ought to be a good time. Thanks to everybody that's always part of what we do. Thanks for being a part of this. We're going to go play games, but first of all, if anybody is catching this content, any of our other video gaming news segments, clips from the video gaming news segments, any of our gameplay playthroughs, episodes of that stuff, or just clips from gameplay, funny stuff that's happening here in the community, whatever, man. There's stuff all over the YouTube page and the Twitch page, and if anybody's enjoying that content, then I would ask you to come down and hang out with myself and the rest of the amazing people that are part of this community whenever we go live at 6 a.m. CST every single day. We start off all of our streams with video gaming news before we dive into whatever video gameplay we have planned for the rest of the day, all right? Other than that, you guys just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we will catch everybody tomorrow for April 26th edition of Video Gaming News, all right?